You and your colleagues dog the media a lot, but the president devours the media. He loves the Time. Time magazine again this morning, an interview.
Cover story.
Watches Good Morning America Sunday. How do you square that with the constant complaints?
Well, he has constant complaints because he watches everything and reads everything and consumes it all. But I think, again, it speaks to his transparency and accessibility. I mean, yesterday he sat down with Jeffrey Goldberg of The Atlantic. And we all know the story that Jeffrey Goldberg at The Atlantic recently wrote. It was quite a big news cycle. But the fact that President Trump was willing to talk to a reporter who wrote a story that we absolutely disagreed with, and many stories that we absolutely disagree with, we have condemned because they are false, they are hoaxes. The fact that the president is still willing to welcome that reporter into the Oval Office to have a direct conversation with them is exactly what we should expect in a leader of the free world. And you had a previous president in Joe Biden who hid from the press, who didn't do press engagements, hardly did sit-down interviews. And so I think this is exactly what the American people want. President Trump has revolutionized the way a president communicates. Not only does he engage directly with reporters, but he speaks directly to the public. Truth Social, there's probably been one since I've been sitting on this stage, right? I mean, he puts statements out directly. He writes them himself. He dictates them to us as staff. And I think that level of transparency is quite refreshing. And I think it's a big reason he was reelected again.
How did the Atlantic interview go?
It was cordial. It was okay. And, you know, there was disagreements. They are writing a story in which the reporting will be revealed, and I'll let you all read it.
And did the president make news?
He always makes news.
What did he say?
He's a news maker.
What did he say?
I won't get ahead of my boss, Mike Allen.
You've one for the road. The official Trump store is now selling hats that say Trump 2028, $50. Even though the Constitution doesn't envision a term 3 for President Trump or any president, is that just a hat?
It's just a hat. The president was asked and answered this question yesterday. It's not something he's thinking of, though I hear the hats are flying off the shelves.
Tailed access to the Associated Press, which reaches half the world's population every day. Do you worry about history being lost with these new restrictions?
I don't view them as restrictions. We view them as opening access to more outlets, more voices, more news journalists and outlets. We shouldn't have a few outlets who have a monopoly over the briefing room or over that 13-person press pool that covers the president. And so we've actually ensured that more print outlets, like Axios, have a greater chance of being part of that 13-person press pool. There are thousands of outlets who have White House press credentials. There are hundreds that actually show up every day and cover the beat. Why should a single outlet have the privilege of being in that 13-person press pool every single day? And so the changes we've made have actually created more transparency, more accessibility, and greater access for a broad variety of outlets and a diversity of journalists, which I think is a good thing. And we've seen that play out. I mean, we started this. I think you're all still getting your news, right? You're still hearing about what the administration is doing every single day because we have good journalists who are in that room covering the president every single time.
The counter to that is in a White House Correspondents Association statement about the White House changes to the position of wire services in the pool. And the statement says the government should not be able to control the independent media that covers it. Do you agree with that statement?
Well, I think that a small group of journalists who comprise the board of the White House Correspondents Association should not dictate who gets to go into the Oval Office and who gets to ride on Air Force One. There should be equal access for all outlets, and that's exactly what we're doing. And if we were trying, by the way, to create positive press for the president, if we were trying to make it easier on him or on the administration, we wouldn't allow some of these fake news leftist outlets in, but we continue to do that. No one has been restricted. We've just given more spots to more outlets and more voices. It's not about ideology. It's just about increasing wide variety of outlets that have access. And we live in a digital age, and we're recognizing that at the White House. The president ran a non-traditional media campaign which propelled him back to the highest office in the land, and we felt it was our responsibility to continue that in our coverage at the White House.
Smart